Lately, I've had to talk a lot about video game censorship, which always makes me sad because I want content to release and be good, but sadly, developers have been caving into outrage more recently, and they've been toning down their content for modern audiences, and now Amazon's upcoming MMO will be censored in the West. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or support the channel via YouTube memberships. So I wanted to start off with this Bounding into Comics article saying data mining suggests Amazon Games plans to censor Western release of the Bandai Namco MMO Blue Protocol. And unfortunately, I can't really say that I'm surprised. I've actually had to talk a couple of times recently specifically about Amazon Games censoring content when it's being brought to the West, but it says Amazon Games has been accused of censoring the MMO Blue Protocol after fans found altered models in the game's pre-release benchmark test. Earlier this month, in anticipation of the game's release later this year, Amazon released both a benchmark test and character creator, and despite the latter allowing players to create avatars with short skirts, skin-tight outfits, and large chests complete with jiggle physics, some players have seemingly uncovered evidence within the game's pre-release code that indicates it will be explicitly censored for American players, and this is a very sad thing to hear because it does sound like they were basically trying to bait people into getting excited for this title. As you can see, short skirts, skin-tight outfits, large chests complete with jiggle physics. If I see these in a game that I am testing, whether it is a character creator or a benchmark test, I'm going to feel like it is safe to assume that it's going to release with that content and in that state. I think that a lot of people would be like, wow, this has all of this content, awesome, it's not going to be censored. And it sounds like at release their intentions are to actually have all of this be removed. It says taking to the Blue Protocol PC subreddit to declare censor protocol dead on arrival, a user shared an allegedly data mined screenshot which appears to show the Japanese and US versions of two respective female character models. Now, of course, take this with a grain of salt, it could be fake, but I feel like this would take a lot of work to fake all of these screenshots. It would take quite a bit of effort, and I just don't see these and think that they're fake. Especially when we know that Amazon Games is behind this. So as you can see, on the left are the Japanese versions of outfits and models, and on the right side is the US version. You can tell the skirts have been turned into pants, and the shirts that cut off above the belly button are now low to the pant line. Very, very different designs than the original, going from the left to the right, the Japanese to the US versions. But it says despite a mod stressing that these files may not reflect the final product, another user discovered that the new censored models had already been used in the game's English trailers. So clearly these are real in some capacity because they are, again, in the trailers. The bottom model, the desert NPC, is visible in the trailers, explained the eagle-eyed user. Both her original appearance in the Japanese trailer and her censored appearance in the American trailer. You can't tell from the textureless model comparison in the original post, but the censored version even changes her legs to be completely black, making her wear tights in the desert. This is very, very sad to see because Blue Protocol was a game that I was relatively excited for, and I feel like I've heard a lot of people on social media talk about it, but this is why I try to take a step back when I hear about new upcoming, MMO releases by companies like Amazon, because unfortunately they have been behind a lot of censorship. I've had to talk about it in videos recently, but just look at Lost Ark, again, another Amazon MMO. Lost Ark is censoring some skins to better fit Western norms. Of course, Amazon did decide to publish this in the West. It is a game made by Korean developers, but Amazon has the final say. If it's going to get published by them, they are, it seems, clearly allowed to change content, and their excuses have been better fitting Western norms, which of course is absolutely ridiculous. I did do a video on this recently, so it will be linked down below in case you want to go and listen to that, but I just can't trust large companies anymore because we see situations like this happen time and time again. I've also recently had to talk about Ashley in the Resident Evil 4 remake. There are journalists trying to say, oh, it's not censorship, when clearly it is. You could previously look up her skirt, she would hit you away, call you a perv, and you could earn achievements for it in specific versions of the game. But now you can't do any of that because her outfit is completely different. I primarily talk about censorship in video games because I don't support censorship and I just want content to be good. This is clearly a game that is catered to adults. All of these are, in fact, and as an adult, I should be able to consume the content that I want. I don't need Capcom, I don't need Amazon to tell me what I can and can't consume. Especially when we're talking about, in the Resident Evil case, a video game where there's blood and guts and shooting creatures' heads off. Look at Lost Ark, you're slicing people up and you're killing people, but oh no, having short skirts is a problem for them. And going back to the original article, it says, interestingly, while this seemingly confirms, the information and came as a surprise to some American players, it seems it had been old news to German-speaking ones. In an interview given to a German video game news outlet in December, Amazon Games' Blue Protocol franchise lead confirmed there will be a few minor differences between the Japanese and Western versions of Blue Protocol, and I think that most people were not talking about this interview primarily because, yes, it was a German interview, so it probably wasn't translated, and that is why it slipped past a lot of us. But also, saying there will be a few minor differences could mean a lot of things because they're not specifying it's with dialogue or with costumes or with character models. When they are not specifying, this could mean a bevy of different things, and I personally don't like to speculate if we don't have any information unless someone comes out and straight up says, yeah, we're going to be changing like half the content in the game, which of course they're never going to do because they still need to attempt to gain the favor of people like me. But yeah, unfortunately, as you can see, Blue Protocol is going to be censored. There might be a lot more examples than this. All we know right now that is confirmed is that from this original post, the models are here, at least in the very short trailers that we have for the game. We don't know if there will be other costumes changed, if, character models will be severely toned down. Only time will tell, but right now, it does seem like, yes, Blue Protocol is going to be censored in the West, so keep your eye on this. If you're excited for this title, it's okay to still be excited, but definitely keep an eye on potential censorship updates in the future. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.